imagine a studio.
All right, let's talk about one of the strangest, most unsettling tricks the human mind can play on you. I'm talking about that terrifying moment when the world around you, everything you know to be real, suddenly feels fake.
Have you ever had that happen? You're just going about your day, maybe in a place you've been 1,000 times, and this chilling feeling just washes over you? That it's all wrong? The world looks the same, sure, but it feels profoundly off.
It's this exact sensation, this feeling of being totally disconnected, like there's a pane of glass or a screen between you and everything else. You're not a participant anymore, you're just watching your own life happen. It's a seriously frightening experience, and we are going to break down exactly why your brain does this. So this thing, it actually has a name. It's called derealization. And here's the absolute key. It's a change in your perception of reality, not a loss of reality itself. You still know everything is real, you haven't lost your mind, but it just doesn't feel real. This isn't psychosis, it's a very specific psychological state.
So what does this perceptual shift actually feel like? Well, it can hit all of your senses. Normally, your vision is, vibrant and 3D. But during derealization, the world can look kind of flat, like a movie set, and all the color feels washed out. Sounds might become distant and muffled, like you're hearing them through cotton. Even time can get weird, feeling like it's slowing way down.
So that's the what. But the really big question is why? Why on earth would your brain do this to you? Well, it turns out it's actually a defense mechanism. Think of it like your brain's emergency brake.
Think about it like this. Your brain is a machine that's constantly managing stress. But when that stress, whether it's from anxiety, a panic attack, or just pure exhaustion, becomes completely overwhelming, the brain's emotional circuits get pushed right to their absolute limit. Okay, so here's how it goes down. First, you hit emotional overload. Now, instead of just kicking into the usual fight-or-flight mode, the brain tries a different tactic. It chooses to disconnect. It creates this emotional distance by making reality feel less real. And why would it do that? Simple, because if the world feels unreal, then the terrifying thing you're experiencing also feels less immediate, less threatening.
But here's the problem. While this is meant to protect you, our natural reaction to it can actually trap us in a really nasty feedback loop. And it usually starts with a pretty common trigger.
And the thing is, this state can be triggered without any warning at all. It might pop up in the middle of a panic attack, after weeks of grinding anxiety, or just when you are completely and totally wiped out. 1 minute everything's fine, and the next, the world feels like a cheap movie set.
It all starts right here. Your internal stress level crosses a line, some kind of critical threshold, and your brain, trying to be helpful, slams on that emergency brake.
And then, boom, you get the sensation, that sudden, jarring feeling of disconnection. The world you were just in a second ago now feels bizarre, hollow, and a million miles away.
Of course, your first conscious thought is pure alarm. Whoa, what is happening to me? Something is really wrong here. And look, that's a perfectly logical reaction to have when reality suddenly feels like it's glitching.
And this is where that nasty feedback loop kicks in. Your brain feels that new spike of fear, the fear about the weird sensation, and interprets it as a brand new threat. And what does your brain do when it feels threatened? You guessed it, it disconnects even more, which just makes the derealization deeper and the feeling of unreality even stronger.
Now, as absolutely terrifying as that loop sounds, it is so important to understand that this is not a permanent state. And this brings us to the most important part of this whole explainer, the reassurance.
Let me say that again, because it's the most critical thing to remember. Derealization is temporary. It feels all-consuming, like it's going to last forever. But your brain is not built to stay in this state. Once the threat passes and your system starts to feel safe again, it will let go of the brake.
And you know what's fascinating? It's who this tends to happen to. It's often found in people who are highly aware, highly analytical, often very intelligent. Minds that are constantly processing and thinking and analyzing, well, they can overload more easily, which makes this emergency brake a more likely response. It's not a flaw. It's a feature of a highly active mind.
So the crucial point to hang on to is this. If you remember one single thing from all of this, let it be this quote right here. The feeling is not a signal of danger, it's your brain creating protective distance. Its goal is to reduce your fear, not to cause it.
And that really gets to the heart of it all. The world didn't go anywhere, it's still there, exactly as it was. Your mind just took a temporary step back from the front lines to keep itself safe. It's a strategic retreat, not a total collapse. And that kind of leaves us with a final question to chew on. We tend to think of these strange mental states as malfunctions, right? As bugs in the system. But what if they're not? What if the brain's most bizarre and unsettling tricks are actually its most sophisticated and protective strategies for helping us survive?